Say that again?
Every 5 hours.
How much is it?
1 million every 5 hours.
$1 million every 5 hours of taxpayer funds goes to pay the CBC to lie to us. And the CTV and global news. If you follow some of their threads on Facebook, the stuff they're saying right now, if it wasn't so shocking, would be laughable. So what they're trying to do, right, of course, which you all know because you wouldn't be here if you didn't know, is they're trying to create as much divisiveness as they can. Whether it's between genders, black and white, whether it's between mask wearers versus non-mask wearers, between now the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. Now they're trying to tell us that the biggest threat to the global health right now is the non-vaccinated people. It's so laughable. Right? If you're protected by your so-called vaccine and it's not a vaccine, then why would you be worried about what anybody else does? Just like their whole narrative around the mask. If you're not wearing the mask, then you can't be protecting everybody else, right? Well, if your mask is working, which it's not, then why should you be worried about me wearing a mask? Right? Make your own mind up. Make your own mind up. So without much ado, we want to welcome the mainline speaker for today, and he's going to be here to answer questions too. So get that brain working of yours. Oh, I'm very sorry. Hello. He wasn't with us. Give me a break. He wasn't with us last night. But our first beautiful speaker tonight is one of our freedom-fighting advocates and friends. He's been aligned with the Northern Freedom Alliance for quite some time. We love Greg. Greg Galanti is here, and he's here to talk, and he will be introducing Max too. Cheers to Greg.
Good afternoon, Patriots. How are you? Thanks for coming out. Look at this crowd. So I'm going to take a couple minutes. I'm just going to talk about character and leadership, and then I'm going to introduce the guy that everybody came here to see. Just as a side, I am your candidate for the People's Party of Canada for Nipissing to Miskaming. You can take a moment before you leave to sign my nomination papers so we can rubber stamp this baby, and I can give what for to Mr. Rhoda. That would be awesome. So, first of all, everybody here, give yourselves a big hand. Because if you took the time to come here, that's character. Do a quick poll. Put your hand up if you've lost relationships with friends or family over sticking up for your rights. We usually have a big giant charter of rights and freedoms here. And our government and a lot of our citizens have seemed to have forgotten that those words aren't a suggestion. They're the law. They're the pillar upon which our society is built. And we need to remind everyone of that. So I spent a good chunk of time in the Army, and then I spent 30 years with the Toronto Fire Service. So I have a fair bit of knowledge, and I know what I'm talking about when I speak about character and leadership. Character comes to the top, not when times are good, but when times are bad. It can define who you are, it can break you, or it can build you up. The fact that you are all here is building you up. So again, thumbs up to all of you. And leadership is not about taking charge. Leadership is about caring for the people that are in your charge and building them up and not kicking people when they're down. So in that regard, I was a supporter of Maxime's before he became the leader of the PPC, before he formed the PPC, and having had the pleasure and the experience of spending yesterday in Temiskaming with him and then the drive down to North Bay, I know this man's the real deal. He's going to speak truth to you, he's going to tell you what he's going to do, and then he's going to do it. So without any further ado, I'd like to bring on Maxime Bernier, leaders of the People's Party of Canada, and he's going to speak to you.
Hello everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Greg. First, I'm traveling across the country, meeting our people, freedom fighters, and I can tell you that our movement is growing and growing and growing. We won't stop. Today, I want to briefly discuss two ideas: freedom and tenacity. Freedom is our fundamental value that unites us today. Without freedom, there's no human dignity, equality of rights, economic prosperity. Only in a free society, we can have human achievement, we can grow, we can realize our dreams. What made our country, what made Canada a great and a prosperous country is because for the last 100 years and more, 100.5 years, 154 years, this country was one of the freest societies in the world. That's why we are a prosperous country. But as you know, like me, we are losing our freedoms at a rapid pace. And we are losing also our traditional Western civilization values. And if we don't reverse that trend, we can all say goodbye to our way of life, to our freedoms, to our prosperity. So today I'm supposed to be happy because I'm in front of you and we are sharing the same ideas, but I'm not. I'm mad today. You can call me Mad Max. I'm mad because our country's identity, our way of life, our freedoms are under attack. And when I'm saying that, it's not a nice sentence, a slogan, or a buzzword. That's the sad reality. Yes, we are under attack by the dysfunctional UN with their socialist policies that they want to impose to us, like the Paris Accord, like the UN Compact on Migration. We don't want that. We know that the climate is changing. That's okay. We want to impose a carbon tax. We want to impose more regulations. Actually, we are the only political party, national political party, that won't play that game on climate change. There's no climate hysteria. The only climate that we must change is the climate of the public opinion. And I'm saying no also to the UN Compact on Migration. For the UN, every person on the planet can go in every country. There's no borders anymore. We must accept all migrants. No, for us, being a Canadian, it's a privilege. And yes, we are open to immigration, but we are open to sustainable immigration, not to mass immigration. So the Conservatives, Liberals, NDP, Greens, and the Bloc Québécois in Quebec, all these traditional establishment political parties, it's always for them more and more immigrants and more diversity. I don't buy the cult of diversity that Trudeau tried to impose on us. Yes, this country is a diverse country, and I'm proud. We have people coming from different ethnicity that decided to come here because we are supposed to be a free country. But right now, we have a big challenge in front of us. So this country, our identity, our freedoms are under attack, also by the Liberal government and the supposed to be official opposition in Ottawa with their mass immigration and extreme multiculturalism, but also with their policies on hate speech and hate crimes. For Justin Trudeau, hate crimes, it's a big thing in Canada. It's a big problem. It is not. If you look at the data coming from Statistics Canada, less than 1% of all the crimes in this country are related to hate crimes. And 65% of all these hate crimes are graffiti on a wall. But for Justin Trudeau, he's using that to censor us on social media. That's an excuse. With the bill C-36, yes, you can tell me, Max, that bill is not in force. No, but that's the platform of the Liberal Party of Canada. If they have their majority, they will impose that bill on us. What that means that you'll have a new bureaucracy in Ottawa. You'll have bureaucrats over there that will look at what you're saying and writing on social media. And you know, with that woke culture and that socialist era, if you are insulting somebody on the internet, that may be and will be an hate crime with their new definition. So a person will be able to call these bureaucrats in Ottawa and tell them there's an hate crimes over there, you must censor that person. They will do that. We don't want that. We will fight against that because we believe in freedoms and in debate. We must have more debates in this society. So that's there. And the Conservative Party of Canada, they're not speaking about that. They're afraid. They're afraid of the mainstream media. They're afraid to be conservative. You know, they're playing the leftist game because for the Conservative Party of Ottawa, of Canada, and I can say Ottawa, yes, for that party, their only goal is to be in government. They're not conservative anymore. And because we have a challenge right now, because I must admit, the majority of our fellow citizens are socialists now, and so it's easier for them to go to the left, and that's what they are doing. And doing that, they are helping Justin Trudeau. They are giving more credibility to that socialist narrative. But you can count on the PPC, you can count on us. We will never do any compromise with what we believe. It's too important for the future of our society. And also, we are under attack by the Bank of Canada. Yes, the Bank of Canada. The Bank of Canada right now is printing money out of thin air. And because of that, Justin Trudeau is able to do, and he did that huge deficit of $340 billion. But what is happening right now? We have the new tax, the new Trudeau inflation tax. That's a hidden tax. You are paying that inflation tax right now when you do your grocery. There's about 4 or 5% inflation there. That will grow and will have more inflation, and that's a bad tax because Trudeau can tell you, you can keep your own money in your own pockets, but you won't be able to buy the same amounts of goods and services with that. Your purchasing power is going down, and everybody is poor. So that huge deficit, it is not our children and grandchildren who will pay for it. It is us right now with that inflation tax. We must stop that, and that's what we, as a political party, will do, because we're going to say to the Bank of Canada, 2%, 20% inflation is bad, 2% inflation is bad, 5% inflation is bad. People must keep their purchasing power and their standard of living. So we will say, and to the Bank of Canada, you must have a 0% inflation target. Like that, we won't have inflation, and everybody will be able to enjoy the money that they are winning and being able to spend that without any inflation. So we are under attack by the Bank of Canada. But the worst of that, we are under attack by all these traditional establishment political parties because of COVID-19, the COVID-19 hysteria. So, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. Can you believe that me, as a politician, as the leader of a national political party, I was not able to go in Manitoba and to speak over there about what is happening in our country right now? So what they did, the Premier of Manitoba said publicly in a press conference that I was not welcome, and if I'm going to Manitoba, my wallet will be emptier. And I received a letter from the head bureaucrat at Health Manitoba saying that if I'm going there, I will have to quarantine for 15 days. And I said no publicly. I said it is my constitutional right to travel across this country. I did it, but after a rally, that was not a rally, that was a meeting with our riding association over there, about 10 people in a park, the executive of my riding association over there. We did that outside, social distancing. I've been arrested, put in jail, and cuffed for a non-crime after a political gathering, only to stop me, only to be sure that I won't be able to do the rally that I had planned in Winnipeg, the Freedom Rally over there. So, as a politician, that's my job, to travel and to speak about what I believe. And I can tell you that I will be back in Manitoba. I will be back there. But when I was arrested, I don't know if you saw the video, I said, when the police asked me the question about, do you have any weapons? Anything that can hurt me? Actually, I was surprised by that question. That was the first time that I was arrested, so. And I don't travel with weapons. So I said to him, only my words. And yes, my words are my weapons. And today, I want you to use your words like me. Use your words as your weapons. Don't be shy. Speak. Stand up. Speak out. I need you. I believe that you need our voice, but I need your vote. And we need to be able to speak to more Canadians about what is happening. Yes, we don't want any lockdowns anymore. You may say, Maxime, it's okay, everything is open this summer. But I believe it will come back when the flu season will be back. So we don't want that. Every business is essential. Our churches must be reopened, our businesses must be reopened, our children must be able to go back to school in September in person with our child, yes, without any mask. Yeah, because if you look at the data, they are saying that everything that they're doing is based on science. How can you say that when you said in the beginning, no mask, or now one mask, maybe two masks? You know, it's not based on science. All that, it's an experiment and a failed experiment. So, people don't understand, if you're under 70 years old and you don't have any comorbidity, your chances of dying from COVID are 0.05%. That's official statistics coming from Statistic Canada. We have the data right now after a year. So that's why I believe that I'm the only leader of a national political party that said no to the COVID vaccine. Why? Because I believe, maybe I'm wrong, that I'm young, 58 years old. I believe that I'm in shape because I like to run and that's my sport. But the most important, I'm looking at the data, and if I have COVID-19, my survival rate is 99.95%. So why having that vaccine? That being said, our biggest fight will be against the vaccine passport. It's coming. I just want to let you know that in Quebec, they said, the Quebec government, if 90% of the population didn't have the 2 shots of the vaccine before the 1st of September, they will impose a vaccine passport. That's the reality. In Manitoba, they are looking to impose a vaccine passport. So, what that means is we will have 2 kinds of citizens in this country, the vaccinated ones and the unvaccinated ones. So some will have some privileges and others not. Some will be more equal before the law, others not. We believe that everybody must be equal before the law, that we don't believe in a show me your paper society. They are doing that in a communist country. Like in a communist country, they are putting in jail their political opponent. They did that to me in Manitoba. And now what they want to do, they want to censor you on social media. They want to impose a vaccine passport. You won't be able to go to a restaurant or a baseball game, or maybe your kids won't be able to go to school. So we may be a minority right now, but we have the science, the data, the statistics on our side. We are speaking the truth, and the truth will always win. So, it's never the wrong time to fight for what is right. I said in the beginning that I want to speak about tenacity. We know that freedom lies in everyone's heart, but it must do more than only lying there. We must fight, we must speak, we must start that battle, that war, because it's an ideological war. We need a common sense revolution. And we need to start to do that together right now. We are the defenders of our civilization. But what is the point to embrace the cause of freedom if we don't fight for freedom? We must not be scared to speak about our values, our Canadian values, our Western civilization values, our Charter of Rights. You must help me to do that. Like Thomas Jefferson said, when tyranny becomes law, revolution becomes our duty. It is our duty to fight for what we believe now. And we should not be discouraged because the majority of our fellow Canadians don't agree with us now. We must not be discouraged because we are a minority now. It is not because an idea is popular that that idea is just and true. And an idea does not become just and true because it is popular. But what I'm telling you is our ideas, the freedom ideas, are just and true, and they will become popular because we will always fight for what we believe. So, I'd like to end with a quote from John F. Kennedy. He said that in 1961 at his inaugural speech in front of his fellow Americans. He said, and that quote is very important for us today. He said, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its maximum hour of danger. You are that generation. This is your all, and now is the time. We must defend our freedoms against these authoritarian governments that are taking it away from us. Now! Woo! And you will be able to do that, and we will do that together, because every Canadian will have the opportunity this fall, if we have an election, to vote for their values, to vote for themselves, to vote for what they believe, to vote for a political party that will stand up and speak out about our values, freedom, and individual freedom, personal responsibility, fairness and respect, and because we will have a candidate, a PPC candidate in every riding in this country, and this political party, this movement will grow. We will have a voice in Ottawa, and we will be together the freedom fighters. Thank you.
Don't be afraid to hug, everybody. Don't be afraid to hug.